finish off this Direct because then it got to probably my favorite trailer of all of E3 so far, the Mario Odyssey trailer, which, again, do you remember with the reveal trailer for Mario Odyssey, it opens and it looks like some garbage Sonic world,
Remember
and then
what
Mario,
the humans looked like?
right, and then Mario pops out into it, and it's like, oh, now I have to pay attention. This might be really good. And this
Yeah.
time they did it again, and it's like, oh, is this Monster Hunter?
dinosaur?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
dinosaur running across the field. Like, this is a new Monster Hunter for Switch. They just announced one for PS4 last night. What the hell's going on? And then the T-Rex has a GD hat. And it turns out that Mario can control anything by throwing a hat at
that's
it in
pretty
Mario
good.
Odyssey, and that's the
I
big
think that's
twist
pretty
here.
neat.
It has a great soundtrack. I'm into that song.
That song has been running through my head all day.
And it goes a little
I
something
must
like
be
this.
tired. Hey, get your hat on, come jump around in our city.
Really, tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
So I had a realization just a couple hours ago where I was sitting down thinking about, like, man, that T-Rex, that thing looks so cool. I'm so glad a T-Rex is in a Mario game. And then I realized it's like a goofy Mickey Mouse situation where it's like, and Pluto, where it's like, well, wait a minute. Mario's been like exploring dinosaur islands for so long with Yoshi.
Yeah.
Like, there's been not a hint of Yoshi in Mario Odyssey.
Wait. Isn't Super Mario World, like, isn't it called Dinosaur Island?
Yes. Yes.
so
and now
funny.
there's
I
a
never-
real
Wait a
dinosaur.
Oh my
Sorry.
god, you just blew my
oh,
mind.
This
Wait.
game is just a series of minds being blown.
Yoshi has to show up on that island, right?
So there's going to be like a cartoon Yoshi.
I
It's going to
don't
look as
know.
weird as like Mario standing next to the humans. Is
I
Yoshi riding on the
guess.
back of a real dinosaur?
I think Goofy Pluto is the perfect analogy.
weird.
Like,
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
Wait,
Okay, what
can-
about this? Here's a
can-
hypothetical.
okay.
Shut up again, Reeves. What if you throw your hat as Mario, take control of the T-Rex wearing Mario's hat, then as the T-Rex, you can ride on cartoon Yoshi.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
See, you don't even have to say
yeah, I don't need to
anything.
be here. That's fine.
But, I mean, the trailer was fantastic. Everyone
Yeah.
should watch it. But we actually got
Yeah.
to play Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Overall impressions, you guys. What stood out to you?
I mean, it looks great, and it plays great. Like, Elise, did you play it?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
okay.
Kyle and I did.
I will be on Thursday.
We're
Okay,
very, very proud of ourselves. But yeah, like, it plays...
We know a guy.
It feels... Obviously, it's Nintendo, so it feels good, right?
Yeah.
But you can do the 3-jump spring, and we explored New Donk City, and we explored the Oasis
It's
desert
confusing.
area.
So they called it. I mean, fans have dissected the trailers and tried to understand it quite a bit. But in the demo, at least, the way it was structured is you went into either Sand Kingdom or Metro Kingdom.
Yeah.
And it's the classic Nintendo PR thing where someone's kind of walking us through the game, and it's like, wait a minute, it's called Metro Kingdom. Are there other cities in here besides New Donk City? Because New Donk City isn't that big.
No.
It really isn't.
And
It was
they
dense, but it wasn't
right.
big.
Yeah, and they weren't like, oh, there's more than one city. It's like, I don't know. This is called Metro Kingdom. What are you going to do? So maybe there are cities inside. But we did errands for Pauline, another foreshadowing from January that apparently we were right on the money for, that Pauline
Yeah.
is the mayor of New Donk City, which is an awesome
Yeah, it's a
throwback to
good
Donkey
tip
Kong.
of the hat.
Let me see. I don't know if I have the quote exactly, but Reeves and I interviewed Koizumi and the director, and we asked, like, do you remember what was the exact question we asked? It was like, did Pauline like wrestle back control of this city from Donkey Kong Country and rename it New
Yeah.
Donk City? Like, was it Donk City, and then Pauline took over and became the mayor, and they were just like, well, that's not the story that we imagined for it.
I was like, why didn't she name it Pauline City, too? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is cool to see she's in the game, because we haven't seen her in, I don't know, forever, right? Like, she hasn't showed up in Mario
It has
Kart or
not
anything,
been
right?
since Donkey Kong, yeah,
Something like that.
as far as I know.
But that gives even more like credence to the idea that we'll probably see Donkey Kong at some
Yeah,
point,
and
right?
we asked them
Hope
about that, and they kind of just said like, well, it's New Donk City, Pauline's there, fun stuff could happen.
He's,
Kinda what they
I mean,
said.
he might be
Okay.
busy with the rabbits over there. They're ones the crazy rabbit
never
DK.
know.
Here's a couple quick things from my time with Mario Odyssey. You guys can react or
Yeah.
not react. First of all, throwing your hat at enemies and becoming them. You can throw your hat at anything. Well, anything might be a stretch.
Well,
but
I mean, you can't throw it at anything, but not everything will become.
So the way that they described it is anything not wearing a hat, you can throw your hat at and become. But it's more clear to be like any living thing. There's some inanimate objects that work, like ways to get up buildings and
There's
stuff.
some Goomba enemies too that I threw my hat at and just killed them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm very-
Unless they
I'm
were wearing
still-
super small hats that I didn't notice.
There wasn't a lot of taking control of enemies in the demos that we played, but that was the way it was described. So, like, if you see weirdo pedestrians walking around the town wearing hats, you can't take over them. But if there's someone standing on the side, I threw my hat at them, became them, and then I controlled a remote-controlled taxi to go get a little moon.
Oh, really?
Which is like
Oh,
the
that's
opposite of
cool.
I didn't see any
sunshine.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird stuff. So anyways,
that's crazy.
real quick, why Nintendo's genius. They call that process capture.
Oh,
It's a pun. It's
Damn
so
it.
good.
That's
It's so
really,
good.
really good.
Also,
So
you can
dumb.
do like a Donkey Kong Country Returns style roll, and that's going to be the speedrunner's way of choice with Mario Odyssey. When you're running around, you can start rolling and then just keep shaking the Switch controllers. We only got to play with the separated Joy-Cons, by the way. And they were unclear if every motion control move would be mapped to the Pro controller.
When Reeves and I played it in a different session with different representatives, and they said that like you can play with the Pro controller and those like alternate ways. Like for example, if you do like an up and down motion, he throws the hat sideways as an attack as opposed to like horizontally. And they said like that would be mapped to like you press 2 buttons as opposed to one. So as far as I understand, there is nothing exclusive to motion controls.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Something also crazy they showed off in the trailer and we got to experience then is basically you can do like Link does in A Link Between Worlds, where you can go 2D onto buildings and play 8-bit Mario.
That was a huge surprise. I love that. Like, and so you also buy new costumes too.
Yeah.
And so your costumes translate when you go into the 2D spot. So like if you're wearing a zoot suit or something, it's a 2D Mario wearing a suit.
Yeah. So there are 2 costumes available. Like each world has its own currency and you can buy new costumes, but I went into the Odyssey, which is the name of the hat ship, and I put on like a safari outfit. But then also in New Donk City, one of the costumes you can wear, which is cool, is the Mario Maker box art, like the construction Mario.
Oh,
so you can dress
cool.
up as Mario Maker.
You know
Mario.
what that Reeves? You know what that safari outfit probably is the Mario Picross outfit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I think they're all they seem
Oh,
the ones
they're
that
all
they
like tied to
I think so
previous games
because they had the striped one that you can use in Smash Brothers. I think was in Mario Golf. So I don't think they're
Right,
all
the USA one.
I think there's a lot that are like callbacks to old.
Why
Mario
is he wearing a
outfits and stuff.
safari outfit with Picross? Wouldn't he?
We were talking about this the other day, and our
artist outfit or something.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. You
Okay.
don't go on a safari when you play Picross. I don't know.
Weird. Real quick, other things that stood out. You can become a Moai, which is like an Easter Island-looking head in the Mexico world, the Day of the Dead. And he has X-ray sunglasses where you can see like secret platforms and stuff when
Oh,
they're
that's
down, but
cool.
you can lift them and then you don't see them anymore.
Oh wow.
I saw Lakitu frozen in ice in the Mexico place.
Okay.
Oh nice.
But I wasn't able to get them. And then also the name of the lion that you can ride around is called a Jaxie. And I went and rode it and found a secret ice cave that felt like one of those platforming challenges from Sunshine, you know, like those little remote things.
Yeah.
With the acapella Mario music. and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
That's
It
cool.
brought me to like one of those type of like different worlds just for that little challenge.
Those worlds are so like dense with like stuff. They keep using the term sandbox, and we kind of like found out there's a Japanese word that kind of like translates to sandbox literally, but it kind of refers to Japanese miniature gardening.
Okay.
So they're kind of like going for that, like miniature gardening is all about like creating environments in miniature, the super dense environments in miniature. And so that's what they're trying to do with these Mario levels, is create like super miniature environments full of like lots of different things.
Dense is a key word. I don't know if it really fully felt like Mario 64 based on what I played today. Did you guys have a different impression? Because they're beating that drum so hard. I don't
think
know if it's...
structurally, I think that's kind of like the fact that you kind of are in a world and there's a bunch of moons, not stars, but moons now.
Yeah.
You don't get kicked out of the level when you get a moon like you did in Mario 64.
Right.
But
Right.
at that base sort of structure of like go into this world, get a bunch of things, you know, and that's what you want to collect. Like that's what I feel like how Mario 64 is structured.
Well, Mario 64 it was like what 5 or 6 stars per level.
6, and then if you got 100 coins, it was a 7th, I believe.
And then, but in this, I mean, they didn't give us an exact number, but it could be like upwards 50 plus moons,
Yeah.
and like they're all over the place. Like and I like that actually because it's super rewarding. You'll do like a small little platforming challenge, and they'll give you a moon, and then you do something like you go discover a thing, and they'll give you a moon.
And
So
then
it's
also
like,
every moon you get, it shows the date of when you got it.
That's
But the
weird.
date, it said 12/13/2017 for every moon we got. So maybe just the Switch's clock was off.
I'm sure
Oh,
that's,
that's
probably what it
Yeah, but it's a weird little detail. So maybe there's like an archive somewhere where you can see every date you got
Kind
a
of
moon.
neat though.
if you
yeah.
pull down Kyle's
I
pants,
mean,
I bet we'd get a moon.
Yeah,
weird
that's really
kinda
good stuff.
tracking thing of your
That's
progress.
good. It's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The only concern I really have about this game at this point is sometimes it felt like the camera was tilted too low, like especially in the Mexico level, and there's no option that I could find at least for like a first person kind of like look around just to get your bearings. And so you'd be running across the desert, and it's like I want to see over there, and you can like realign the camera to center, but it doesn't give you a good way to kind of look around the environment. They have like basically what they have in 3D Land. Do you remember those little like telescope things
Yeah.
where you can kind of look around? They have those throughout the level. But that's the only thing that I felt somewhat limited by so far.
Yeah.
Any other hot takes from playing Odyssey?
We found Captain Toad, treasure tracker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
he's
Oh, that's
in
awesome.
New Donk City. Yeah. Although Kozumi said that he could show up in other levels as well.
He's a wildcat.
Yeah.
I was trying to think if there was any like I asked about the Easter Island head statues and the lion, if that was like a callback to like Super Mario Land.
Oh yeah.
And they were just kind of like, well, I mean, not necessarily. It was a weird answer. Like they didn't want to commit to it. That's just how Nintendo interviews tend to go.
Also on the weird front, in the shop you can buy like stickers to put on the Odyssey ship.
Okay.
But then there's also just like weird statues and stuff where it's unclear if that's for inside the ship or if you can like redecorate the levels in some way. A lot of things still up in the air even after half an hour of playing that game.
I like this game a lot, and it could be my game of the show. Like it's definitely
It
up
might
there.
be up there, yeah.